Chapter 3, A Sharp Right Turn on the National Road, Part 11. So Steven is looking at the other guy being the alien. And that was the alien that brought him in to the room. And he took a close look at the back of his head, and it was perfectly round. And it was like an ugly little thing. And he wasn't even sure if that was skin on his head or if it was something else. And he was also looking at the chest, and he didn't see any ribs, and there was no muscular definition or anything like that. So the alien catches Steven looking at him, and so Steven looks away. And there was another alien in the room, and that was the supervisor. And he was the boss, and he took over once Steven got inside the room. So there was a thing hanging on the ceiling, and it was gone. And the light wasn't on Steven anymore, and he was just lying on his back. And now there was the alien, and now Steven begins calling him the doctor. So the doctor was coming over to Steven, and he was looking at a spot on Steven's stomach, and that spot tickles a little bit, and he felt a little bit sensitive, and the alien began to feel it. And next, there's like a metal thing that is coming up around both of Steven's legs, and that metal thing begins to move his legs apart. And the doctor begins touching the skin under Steven's leg, and all of a sudden his right hand is now paralyzed. He wants to move it, but he can't. And the left hand is just relaxed. And all of a sudden, the left hand begins to become paralyzed. It starts with the fingertips, and then it moves to the elbows and right up to the shoulders, and now both hands and arms are paralyzed, and they have no feeling. And when this is happening, there's no pain. And next, the legs are paralyzed, and Steven feels that they're trying to knock him out, and they did. So during this point of the hypnotic regression, Budd Hopkins signals to Dr. Clamar to end the process and bring Steven out of the trance. When Steven came out of the trance, both his ears bothered him in a way similar to when one goes to the airplane and feels pressure on his ears. But this issue went away because Steven began yawning and swallowing, and this gets that feeling away from the ears. So this hypnotic period lasted for about an hour, and it was unnerving for the three of them. Steven and Budd said goodbye to Aphrodite Clamar, and they went to a coffee shop. And both realized that when a subject goes to a hypnotic regression, the subject only tells details that are most significant to the question being asked. But other aspects of the experience only come out later when the subject is more relaxed. And also, Budd Hopkins notices that during many hypnotic sessions, the abductee can remember many things, but there's also a period of missing time that the subject cannot remember, and that's probably because during the abduction, the individual is actually knocked unconscious, and even through hypnosis, there are things that the subject cannot remember because he or she was unconscious. So after the hypnotic regression, there was a phone conversation where there was a phone conversation between Stephen and Budd Hopkins, and Steve recalled some other details. One detail was an emotional reaction that Stephen felt after he had relieved the examination by the aliens through hypnosis. Like he felt embarrassed and ashamed. Kind of like when somebody flunks a test at school and they want to hide it from their parents. He remembered that when he came home that morning in 1973 after the abduction, he felt dirty and wanted to take a shower, but he was just so tired that he gave up on that idea and just went to bed. And another detail that he remembered was that towards the end of the examination, Stephen said that the doctor had a cylindrical object like a wand in his hand, and he remembers that wand was placed against Stephen's chest by the doctor. And Budd Hopkins makes a note that wand, that tool, has been seen in other abduction events. For example, Sergeant Charles Moody was abducted from his car near Alamogordo, New Mexico in 1975, and he said that he was touched on his back by a small rod-like device while sitting on a table, and that device was kind of like a wand,